Hi, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? Yay, perfect. I hope you guys are doing so well. Thank you guys for joining. So as you guys know, it is Acne Awareness Month. I cannot believe June is already here. It is so wild to me that we're already halfway almost through our year now. But Acne Awareness Month is something that I always have marked on my calendar only because I am a very oily, acneic gal myself. So a lot of the products that I'm going to talk about today, a lot of the treatments that I'm going to talk about today, not only are they near and dear to my heart for my guests in my treatment room, but they've also been a huge part of my skincare journey. I have had very oily acneic skin since I can remember, since I was a child. I was always an athlete, always kind of just like running, exercising, playing outside, sweating. Didn't really know how to take care of my skin that well. So into adulthood, I definitely had to take a lot of steps to regain that control. And it can absolutely be done. So I'm so excited to show you a few ways to do that with cosmetics, especially leading into June because it is Acne Awareness Month. And just going to kind of bounce off of that Acne Awareness Month also into our summertime peel safety. A lot of these options, mainly these options are going to be for that acneic guest or for that overly sebaceous guest as well. And we'll go through just a few ways to choose which peel is best. And also I'm going to go through a few home care recommendation ideas. And feel free if you guys want. I want this to be like open-ended. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Erica, if you don't mind to man the chat for me, if you see any questions and I'm just blowing past them, feel free to unmute yourself and just, say, hey, Amanda, like we have a few questions. Thank you. Perfect. So what is acne? So we all know acne is a very common inflammatory skin condition. It affects about 85% of all young adults ages 12 to 25 and 50% of women ages 20 to 29. Acne is a combination of dead skin cells and oil that clog pores and cause bacterial buildup that contributes to that inflammatory kind of growth in that area and flare-ups. Acne can also appear on your chest, back, and shoulders. We know this as truncal acne, and this also affects 50% of patients who have acne on their face. So just imagine this like all over condition. If you guys haven't had any type of flare-ups like this, it's just very hard to manage. It's really hard on ego. It's very hard on just like lifestyle in general. You kind of just want to hide, and then you go start asking these questions, like what has caused this? And there are not a lot of answers out there for people and consumers. But as that esthetician, you just kind of have to take control of that conversation. And we all know that there's not one single cause of acne. There's typically multiple triggers and buildups, whether that be internal or external factors that contribute to that inflammatory acne. That could be hormonal changes, going through puberty. Pregnancy can also stimulate additional like oil and sebaceous glands as well. Producing more oil is going to contribute to potential congestion and help, over keratinize that skin in general. So we definitely need to be conscious of that home care routine when it comes to things like that as well. Getting into summertime, your sun care, your SPF protection are going to be huge as well, because increased sunlight, increased stress can also be triggers for types of acne. Always echoing like that great diet, making sure that digestion is in place, making sure that they are being very active, moving their body, exercising, getting the right amounts of water on top of that skincare regimen. This is definitely all the boxes that we have to continue to tick I know for myself, this has been such an interesting journey because I really had to pivot my entire lifestyle, whether that be like what I'm eating, how I'm moving my body, how often I'm moving my body, making sure that I get like 100 steps in or something like that after I have each meal, just to make sure my digestion and my lymphatic drainage is all like really good and activated. And then always making sure, like I said, to be super consistent on that home care routine as well. And I think this is everyone's biggest question, and that's, will acne cause scarring? And we all know the answer is yes. A lot of people think that just kind of deeper level cystic acne will cause that scarring, but we all know that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation is so real, and scars can actually appear in 95% of acne cases. So always going to be best to make sure that we are controlling this acne right off the bat. We don't want to let it go too long, because the more that inflammatory process goes, not only will our post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation be harder to kind of get back control of, and those melanocytes will be a little bit harder to control, but as this inflammation occurs over time and turns more chronic, you do see collagen in the area begin to deplete as well. So supporting those collagen structures by making sure that inflammation is as low as possible is always going to be best. And then a little pivot here. So I think I talked about this a little bit earlier, got a little bit long-winded, but what we're going to see today, yes, of course, home care recommendations, and how to schedule around those vacations, how to book that scheduling cadence, what is safe, what is not safe, where do we really want to lean, and also a few little pricing recommendations as well. So when it comes to professional room treatments, all of your level 1 options are going to be such beautiful options for the treatment room. And with that, I want to lead into a little metabolic peel fact or fiction. Fact or fiction, peels can only be performed during peel season. We all know this is totally fiction. We do have a totally safe options for year round, as long as we are protecting and doing that really great post-care maintenance, and of course wearing our sun care, and staying covered. Another little factor fiction here, all peels have downtime. We all know that this is another big fiction. If clients are out in the sun, they're undoing their peel treatment progress. Chemical peels are only for the face. Peels are only for clients with severe concerns or skin issues. We all know, like I just said, that it's definitely not true. We want to make sure that we jump on this as quickly as possible, just to make sure that that inflammatory phase is controlled. And a peel will make the skin look and feel worse before it looks better. And we all know too, as it pertains to metabolic peels in general, they do typically work from the bottom to the top. You don't really see that immediate peeling. A lot of that flush redness is also going to be mitigated as well. So these are going to be really, really great options. And then a peel will make the skin look and feel worse before it feels better. Peels are a one-time fix. We all know that's also not true. Getting them on that nice cadence is going to be exactly where we want to be. And then peels are only for major correction. Absolutely not. We can point to that home care maintenance. Absolutely. And then the facts. Summer is not time for major correction. That is absolutely true. Summertime is going to be when we maintain those results that we've really put in that hard work for. Peels can be performed regularly during summer as it pertains to those level 1 options, as long as that lifestyle allows. And then summer is also a great time to prep skin for more corrective peels into fall and winter. So this can be a really good time where we work on really infusing hydration, or really work on boosting that microbiome health. Just keeping the skin preserved in general, and kind of pointing to all of those preservative ingredients and products. And then some peels are more beneficial than others during summer. Absolute facts. When it comes to those level 1 options, your blueberry smoothie, your PHA hydration peel, your resurface blend enzyme, and also your pomegranate peel. Those 4 options are so beautiful as it pertains to the treatment room. When I think about home care, I'm always thinking about your Purity Detox Scrub, your Pure Enzymes, your Awaken masks, and things like that as well. And then skin concerns like acne should be maintained year round. There's never a time where, as long as my guest is committed to that really great home care regimen, there is never a time where I am pushing out their treatments. If they're wanting to come in and get, a hydrating facial with a resurface blend enzyme, or a blueberry smoothie or something like that. If they want to stay on that cadence and they want to stay on those treatment room treatments year round, I absolutely want to be there for them. If they're going to be, strict, so will I. So I absolutely want to be there to support them year round, especially with that acne. When it pertains to your hyperpigmentation, we definitely want to point more towards that prevention instead of correction. And that's typically where we want to lead. We're really bringing down that acneic inflammation here, helping the skin just kind of maintain so it can heal itself effectively. We're killing any bacteria in the area. We're controlling that oil and sebaceous gland as well. And I do see a little chat here. Yay, perfect. Sabrina says, I've been loving pomegranate peel right now. I love that, Miss Sabrina. Totally. I've really been leaning into pomegranate peel as well. It's been so beautiful. Another one that I have been really loving is resurface blend enzyme. You'll see, like, as we get into like our acne boot camps and things like that, resurface blend enzyme, pomegranate peel, and clarity peel, those 3 are really going to be heavy hitters for that oily acneic skin. And when we start talking about that acne boot camp, if you guys haven't been able to pop over onto the cosmetics edu portal, we have some amazing boot camp acne protocols on there. You will see resurface blend enzyme being used. You'll see pomegranate peel. You'll see clarity. And my favorite way to use resurface blend and clarity together are actually in the same protocol. You're able to do those first 3 steps to prep, which typically is going to be your purity solution, your purity clean, RX clean or clear or clarify option. You'll degrease with your purity balance. And then you will go ahead and apply about 2 to 3 pumps of your resurface blend enzyme here. You'll allow that to sit for about 10 minutes. You'll go ahead and thoroughly remove it with gentle clean, crystal cleanse, or your benefit clean option. And then after you've removed resurface blend, you can actually use clarity peel as that like end of treatment booster peel. So that's how I love to use this kind of in combination for my oily acneic guests as well. These 2 are so balanced, so beautiful, and they work so beautifully together. They also work and do wonders on their own, both compatible with that dermaplaning option as well. I know dermaplaning with acne, kind of, you have to be a little bit more careful there. But as long as they do have it and it's more controlled, you're totally fine. If you're just seeing some blackheads in the area, as long as it's not that those pustular whiteheads, you're totally fine to go in with that dermaplane, resurface blend, remove, press in clarity after, or just dermaplane and into clarity, whatever you guys prefer. A lot of really great ways to kind of combine and cocktail these. You could do the same thing with your pomegranate peel option. That would just be a little bit of an elevated version of this one. If you would take out resurface blend, instead apply that pomegranate peel for about 10 minutes, remove, and as long as they have indication there, they have that oily acneic skin, we are able to absolutely press in clarity peel there in the treatment after pomegranate with clarity. I think a lot of people too forget just because, of course, in clarity, you have your salicylic acid, you have your hydroxypentacolone retinoate, which is going to be a beautiful form of retinol that works so well with that salicylic kind of Salicylic, we know it as that really chunky molecule that sits superficially, kind of cleans out that follicle and sebaceous gland. But also, since it's not able to penetrate, it doesn't really do its work there unless it's paired with that retinol. And that's what hydroxypentaquinone retinoate in Clarity Peel does for that salicylic chunky molecule. It vehiculizes it, it takes it much deeper than it's typically able to go. That's why it's also really, really great for even your cystic acne that sits a little bit deeper there as well. But then you also see, like I said, I think a lot of people forget that there's a little bit of mandelic acid as well in Clarity Peel. So for those guests who are a little bit more prone to that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation or have a little bit of uneven tone in the area, I love that little bit of addition of that mandelic acid in your Clarity as well. And then into a nice summer maintenance, scheduling for success, how to book and schedule that cadence there. All of our level 1 peels are going to be surface level exfoliants, so they can be done weekly, up to 4 times a month. If you want to push them out to once every 2 weeks, if you're doing a little bit of combo therapy there, you absolutely can. If you're doing a dermaplane or a microdermabrasion in combo with any of these level 1s, I probably would push them out about 4 weeks. But there's not going to be any type of real recovery time, no peeling, nothing like that, no real prep required. And these are also great add-ons for facials with modalities. So if you're looking, like I said, to combine for that dermaplaning option, for that microdermabrasion option, if we're really hitting like heavy on these acne guests here, really great to do in combination with your high frequency, or even do an LED session after as well. So you can really build these into that full facial service. Where your level 1 plus leave-on Clarity, that frequency is going to be once every 2 weeks. That sensitivity is going to be about 24 to 48 hours. So we do want to do a nice post-care regimen there. If they haven't prepped thoroughly, they could see a light shedding process if they're on the correct home care, if they're on that correct cadence, and if you've built them up where they need to be, they should not see any type of shedding from these level 1 pluses. In that prep kit, we do like to see it for that 10 to 14 days before the treatment, whether that be that prep kit or those full-size products. But definitely have to at least be on that Simply Brilliant vitamin C option, or that entry-level retinol of Define. And then for our pricing, what to charge recommendations here. This is going to be for that level 1 cadence. This is also going to be for package pricing of 4 treatment package. So 1 treatment of these, I typically like to aim for about $125, but in a package of 4, I like to drop off, give them a little kind of price advantage there. So they would purchase that pack of 4 blueberry smoothies for $400. Pomegranate peel, same pricing there, $400. PHA and resurface blend, all going to be a pack of 4 for $400. And this also breaks down your cost here. I love this little visual. You guys can all thank Miss Erica for this visual she created. It is so handy dandy. But this blueberry smoothie option here, you get 20 treatments. Cost breaks down to about $1.38 per use. Pomegranate peel, you have about 40 uses per bottle. Pomegranate peel is going to actually change in size and packaging. I'll show you guys that towards the end. So this one does reflect 40 uses, and I know you guys, a lot of you still have the older packaging until the new one kind of launches and we kind of move through it there. But as of right now, we have 40 treatments in that bottle at $1.31. So really great pricing option there as well. For PHA hydration, 30 uses, $1.60 each. Resurface blend has 13 uses, and you're going to have that $5.77 cost per usage there as well. And then moving into a little bit of home care, this or that. For your cleansers, my go-tos for my oily acneic guests, and like I said too, when I maintain my skin at home, Purity Solution is always going to be that first step to prep, no matter what. your oil-based cleanser. It's beautiful to balance all types of skin. But that oil content there, when you have those really, really beautiful, nourishing oils, it's actually able to do a really good kind of swap out for those negative clogging oils in the skin. Oil attracts oil. So this is actually able to do a really, really great job for those oily acneic guests. I love to do a nice little reset with this purity solution. And this is always the first cleanser that I intro into somebody's line, no matter what. From your gentle cleanser option of purity solution, you can begin to build that active treatment cleanser option. You have two here that are my favorites for your oily acneic guests. Clarify, of course, is going to be your foaming cleanser, has 1% salicylic. It also has your lactococcus ferment lysate, which is your beautiful probiotic base to help boost microbiome function. But I'm telling you guys, this Clarify is a game changer when it comes to that inflammatory, like pustular acne. Also, if you're seeing anyone who's very overly sebaceous, who's just really, really producing that oil, and they are oily all over, if they're typically dehydration, combo like T-zone oiliness, that is when I do lean into RX Clean. When they're seeing a little bit more of that like dehydration overall, they're seeing a little bit more combo skin, and they have more of that like blackhead disposition, and more of those kind of open comedones, if you, as you would say, I would probably go into RX Clean there. But Clarify, if you're seeing your pustular whiteheads, if you have a lot of oil in general, Clarify is going to be a beautiful option. If you're seeing a lot of redness, Clarify is also going to do a really, really job at mitigating that redness. So all three of these beautiful options to build from, purity solution plus Clarify, purity solution plus RX Clean. You can kind of build from there. And we have one in our chat. Yay, perfect. Yay. Thank you, Erica. And then, perfect. And then second step for our home care here after our cleanse is always going to be that toning step, purity balance. I could harp on this product in an oily / acneic guest home care routine. Like, I will scream this from the hills until purity balance is no more. But purity balance is such a vital, important step in that guest's routine. I feel like a lot of people say that toner step is just something that you don't really need. But it is after that cleanser. Purity balance is cleanse, tone, moisturize. That's typically how I really like to try to treat, and get that on that 3-step kind of home care regimen. But this is going to decongest. It's going to treat the area. It's going to boost microbiome function as well. It does have to be sprayed. I know you guys know this, into a 2x2 or cotton round, whatever you're going to use to apply it. You can even just spray it into your hands and press it into the skin if you'd like. However you want to use it, no matter what, you're going to be totally fine. This is so beautiful to reduce redness. It's going to help with any type of like follicle issue that you might be having, whether that be congestion, whether that be just like openness in general. If you've had a lot of oil in there and it's swelled and that kind of pore has stretched a bit, it's going to do a really good job of helping to restore that to its original size. It does have a little bit of lactic acid, a 1% lactic, a 1% salicylic. It also has some tea tree oil in here as well. They can use this every single night in their routine before their serum and moisturizer option. And this is just such a beautiful way to restore a kind of unified texture in the skin. I will never leave purity balance out of my routine. And I feel like that when I say that, a lot of you guys are shocked. You go kind of straight for that serum, which I also love. Anything is going to work there, but just try to introduce that purity balance first after that cleanse. It's a very sustainable product. It's a little bit more price range friendly for them as well, instead of immediately venturing into that serum. So it's a product that it's going to be sustainable in their routine, and they're just going to come back for every single time. So I will, like I said, I'll die on this hill of purity balance forever. Perfect. Yay. And then Home care masking options. Clear mask is going to be a beautiful option for your acne guests as well. Clear is going to be our deep cleansing mask. It does have a clay base here. It has your kaolin. It has some tea tree oil as well. It has some sulfur in there to help mitigate any other types of dermatitis that you might be seeing. So a lot of people always ask about perioral dermatitis. Clear is such a beautiful option there because it does contain some of that sulfur to kind of help cleanse that area. And help detox as well for that perioral dermatitis. It's so stubborn to find something that will work, but clear mask is always my go-to. Any type of breakout congestion that you're seeing in the area, they can actually do this at home about 2 to 3 times a week. If they're doing this as a spot treatment as well, I typically like to just tell them to, spot directly over where you're seeing if you're going to be doing it multiple times a week. If you're not seeing congestion in all areas of the face, it's not always necessary to detox 2 to 3 times a week. So we can absolutely spot treat with this one if we want. If we want to use it 1 time a week all over the face as like a ritual, as in like a full cleanse, a full tone, an exfoliant of pure enzymes before, and then clear mask after. We can absolutely do that to the whole face, but this works so beautifully 2 to 3 times a week if we put it just over those congested areas, especially if you use Purity Balance before. Don't forget our little steps here. These steps in a facial can also translate into those steps in that home care routine. So in their routine, as they begin to insert these on certain days, they should totally still be keeping the same cadence of application. And then into our serum option. Oh no. And then into our serum option here, Clarity. This is going to be our number one for that oily acneic skin, our skin clarifying serum. It does have a little bit of salicylic acid in here, as well as your willow herb, tea tree oil, and aloe vera to soothe the skin and help with any type of agitation and irritation that they might be seeing. You also have a tiny bit of our AGP retinol complex in here. Remember what I said earlier about that salicylic being that kind of chunky molecule that likes to sit superficially. So somehow we got to vehicleize the salicylic. We got to get it really deep into the skin. We have to make it really great for all forms of acne, not just that pustular whitehead and that superficial blackhead, but also for that deeper rooted cystic level, those nodules, and those papules as well. So that's going to come from your AGP complex. AGP complex is going to act as a little vehicle for that salicylic and help it travel deeper than it ever thought that it could go. But they work so beautifully together. This is such a balanced serum that doesn't overstrip the skin. It's not going to contribute to any type of shedding process, anything like that. They are able to use this in their home care routine. I would start them off, any type of active, I would start off on a cadence of 1 active day, 2 resting days, 1 active day, 2 resting days. But eventually they should be able to build up to about every other night or even every night application if they'd like of this. They can apply this AM or PM. What I do beg of you though, if you have them applying it AM, like I said with Clear Mask, Clarity isn't necessarily a spot treatment, but if they're going to apply it during the day, I would like for them to please just apply it where those little spots of congestion are or where those little breakouts are. And then please make sure that they're using adequate sun protection as well. Any type of vitamin A can be a little bit more stimulating, as we know, for cell turnover. And because of that, it does leave the skin a little bit more prone to a burn, prone to a little bit of sensitivity there. So just make sure they have more coverage. They always should be wearing sun protectant anyways, number one. So I'm going to pop to our chat. Sabrina says, I wish I would have waited to place my order until after today. Oh, yay, you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are liking this. I'm so glad that it's beneficial for you. And then another really great option here is going to be our post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation and preventative care. So these options are going to be specifically for those guests who have concern of pigmentation associated with their acne, whether that be from the acne or just in general pigmentation overall care. You do have 3 really heavy hitting options here with your Simply Brilliant, your Revert, and your XL Plus. I will say if you're looking for an everyday product that can also help mitigate that acne, Simply Brilliant does a really good job of addressing texture, as well as kind of helping to protect the skin from any type of like UV damage that contributes to those kind of acne flare-ups. I know you guys know the salicylic acid was removed from Simply Brilliant, but it still is an amazing preventative care for that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or to kind of get rid of those for those acne pickers and things like that as well. The biggest thing I want you guys to remember here, the differences between Simply Brilliant and Revert. I would say Revert is acid free, but Revert is going to be a little bit more for that like hormonally induced pigmentation. If you're seeing melasma, if you're seeing deeper level hyperpigmentation with heat associated there, that's typically where I lean into Revert. If you are looking for a formulation that's similar to that Simply Brilliant formulation, the older Simply Brilliant formulation, you do still have XL Plus. XL Plus still has your salicylic content in there. It still has your lactic, it still has your ferulic, it has your tyrosinase inhibitors, your Waltheria, and it also has a little bit of LG Retinex in there as well. Your LG Retinex, like I said earlier, does the exact same thing as your AGP complex does for salicylic, that chunky molecule. You're really able to vehiculize salicylic here in this formulation. You're able to penetrate your tyrosinase inhibitors a bit deeper as well with XL Plus because of the LG Retinex. I don't want you guys to get lost there thinking that the LG Retinex in XL Plus is like just for that anti-aging feature. We actually use it here to vehiculize these brighteners and the salicylic to kind of penetrate them a bit deeper. So it's just going to be a nice supportive ingredient there. Our main focus is pigmentation correction there, decongesting, and also preventing pigmentation. So all of these work to achieve a similar goal, which is melanocyte control. But they all do it in a little bit different way for a little bit of a different concern for hyperpigmentation, if that makes sense. So if you're looking for something for them to use AM, PM all throughout summer, Simply Brilliant is what I would lean into. If you're looking for a heavy hitting PM only product, XL Plus is going to be that for you. They work really beautifully in a regimen together. Simply Brilliant AM, XL Plus PM, if your guest is looking for that type of correction. And then, like I said, too, with Revert, I'm going to pop to this next slide because it's one of my favorites. I left it on here just because it is so important for summertime. It does kind of fall out of the acne talk just a bit, but it does fall back into the summertime safety category. I love this before and after photo of Revert. It is one of my favorite before and after photos that I've ever seen from any of our products at Cosmetics. But to see this type of relief from a non-acid product, I believe is incredible. The story behind this before and after photo here, obviously you guys see on top, this is her before. She actually received no professional treatments during this time. It was only a gentle cleanser, Revert, and then a moisturizer option. So I love seeing this type of movement, this type of melanocyte control. She also had no like shedding process as it pertains to Revert, because what we're doing here with these antioxidants is we're actually like controlling the damage there and suppressing the usable melanocytes that are still in the area. So this is just controlling redness. This is really suppressing those melanocytes, telling them to go back down, lay dormant until the next time that we need them for protection. For her, SPF is going to be everything, but this Revert is going to be something that she will absolutely want to stay on, until she decides to potentially do a treatment room treatment. But to where she is right now, she's very, very happy. So I always love to speak to these photos because let me just continue to echo, she did not have any treatment room treatments here. These results were achieved in 4 weeks using just a gentle cleanser, Revert, and a moisturizer option. Hopefully she's wearing an SPF, but like I said, Revert is not acid based, so it's not sensitizing in any way. AM, PM friendly. You could use it every single day if you'd like. It's so nutritious for the skin. It's literally just feeding into that good kind of remineralization of the skin as well for protection. So if you're looking for something a little bit deeper level working, that, you know, it's going to be for that heat induced hyperpigmentation, or for that kind of just tone and tonal issue in general, that's where I would go for Revert, as opposed to if you're seeing a lot of textural issues, you're going to get a little bit of exfoliation each time you use Simply Brilliant and XL Plus. So a little bit different ingredient deck there, where you have your really heavily acid-based blend, and then where you have Revert, which has 0 acids in the entire formulation. Perfect. And then into our moisturizer options. These 3 moisturizers, all incredible. I really rotate through a lot of these in my home care routine because don't forget, I am very oily acneic myself. Mystic is going to be that #1 option there, especially post-treatment in the treatment room, because it is that oil-free probiotic base. This is beautiful to kind of remist throughout the day at home as well. If I have those guests who are very, very overly sebaceous, who just don't really want to like feel or touch their skin, often they don't like to feel anything on their skin, Mystic is always my go-to for them. It's really easy. Typically men really gravitate towards Mystic. It's very easy. You don't have to really think about it a whole lot. And it does kill that bacteria in the area. It really promotes that very healthy microbiome structure as well. And then into Harmonize. Harmonize and Mystic are very similar base products, except for Harmonize does add in those really, really nourishing oils, your avocado oils, your grapeseed oils, your neem oil as well, super anti-inflammatory. The name of the game with Harmonize is boosting that microbiome strength, helping to kind of mitigate any type of reactive redness that they might be seeing in the area. So I really do love Harmonize for like my more pustular acneic guests as well. It really works well for anyone who's normal, dehydrated combo, even up to oily. But if they're really needing to like bring down that redness, boost that microbiome function, if they're using a lot of other heavy acids in their routine, I probably would go towards Harmonize as a moisturizer option for them. Another thing about Harmonize, like I said, really great for that back bar option. It does come in a back bar size, so you are able to get a little bit further use with that option. Harmonize can be used after any of those level 1 peels, but after clarity, I would lean into Mystic. And then Shineless, last but not least, Shineless is going to be for that most oily guest there. Also really, really great for a lot of texture that you might be seeing in the area and congestion. If you're having just problematic skin in general, Shineless is a beautiful way to go. Shineless does have a plant stem cell or lilac stem cells. It really helps control that oil and sebaceous gland. It's also oil-free while still providing a really, really heavy dose of hydration. You'll see your hydration come from your D-trehalose. Mimics hyaluronic acid, kind of similarly there, except for it does not in any way contribute to any type of transepidermal water loss. It actually really helps lock in that really vital hydration. So Shineless going to be a really, really good option if you're seeing texture in the area or just an overly sebaceous disposition in general. If they're oily all over, Shineless is the way to go for sure. And then into our SPFs, last but certainly not least, because these are going to be the most important in our routine. You do have your zinc options lineup here. Your physical mineral protectants. Your Hydrate Plus is going to have that zinc 7% base. It is a 17% broad spectrum SPF. You also have Protect UV, which everyone knows and loves. It is a titanium oxide base. It does have 13.5% titanium dioxide to contribute to a 30% broad spectrum SPF protectant. And then our newest baby in the line is going to be Zinc Defense. So zinc defense is actually a 23% zinc-based SPF. It contributes to a 50 plus level of protection, broad spectrum. So these three options are going to all be amazing, really beautiful options for that kind of protection during your summertime. All three extremely oily and acneic safe. I love all these options. Zinc defense, I have been using this one a little bit more in my routine. I have been really loving this in my post-peel treatment room as well. Protect UV for me is still a really, really good option. I know it does have to go into that really heavy shake. You will have to go into that heavy shake as well with zinc defense, just because that's kind of how name of the game there with a mineral-based protectant. So just make sure you shake really well, and I mean, it's very buildable as well. And I'm going to pop to the chat. Oh, you guys are sweet. You guys are so sweet. Thank you guys. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And then I do want to take just a little pivot here to our body care. Hopefully you guys have seen this new Body Clean launch. Another great way to kind of help bring that acne care down the body. If you are seeing that truncal acne on the back, if you're seeing it on the arms, shoulders, chest, anything like that, I do love Body Clean as a little addition there. It does have a lactic acid base, so it is going to be really nice to help decongest. It's still going to be gentle enough to draw some hydration to the area. You do have your galactoribinin, that's really deeply moisturizing. You also see this ingredient in your PHA hydration peel. You see it in a few of our other products as well. So we always like to kind of point back to some of those ingredients that you see. You also have some niacinamide in here that helps with any type of tonal issues, texture, also helps reduce redness to the area, and helps reinforce that lipid barrier structure as well. And some other really nice hydrating ingredients. But this one has definitely moved into my body care routine, not only at home, but in the treatment room as well. Typically my first little cleanse there, I like to go in with my purity solution, of course, I'll never not. But then I do like to do that first kind of treatment cleanse with the Body Clean. And then if they have deeper level issues, I will bring in my heavy hitter RX Clean, because it's still going to have 10% L-lactic and it's still going to be beautiful for the body. So if you're looking for a body regimen, you can absolutely kind of incorporate these together. But I do love Body Clean as a home care product as well. So if they're seeing any issues, this is a really good way to balance any type of issues on the body out. And then just a little bit of behavioral talk here. So when it comes to sun care and protection, there are many different things that we can do, not only when it comes to products, tyrosinase inhibitors, SPF in general. You always want to make sure if you're going out for prolonged exposure that you have a hat, wide brimmed hat that covers everything. I'm talking ears, I'm talking neck, tops of shoulders. I feel like a lot of people will go for just like a traditional like hat like this, and really with a hat like this you also miss the coverage that comes like on this sides of the neck here. I see so many people walking around and they have they've really tried to cover their face, but then they have just like red sides of neck. And I'm like, you got to bring that coverage down, you guys. Everyone, bring that coverage down. So I love these bucket hats, love any type of wide brim coverage. Always making sure that you seek shade, especially during the hottest times of the day. I know a lot of people think that this is just stuff that we tell our kids when we send them to school, but this is all so true, just to help in general, not only with skin health, but just with immunity, to help with dehydration. Just make sure that you're just avoiding that direct sunlight, especially at those peak hours, from like 10:30 to like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then your supplements are going to be huge. Your adaptogens are going to be amazing as well. Vitamin A is a really good support that you're able to take supplementally, as well as those that contain those carotenoids that just kind of help deliver everything safely. For your acne guests, the supplements are also a really good option. I love getting into like your probiotic options, helping support that gut microbiome and help with that gut health. Probiotics have been a really big part of my journey with acne. So supporting that gut health and digestion is huge. Liver support is another kind of somewhere where I have seen a lot. You just have to kind of look at that liver support there as well. Always, if you need to balance them to like a functional nutritionist or a functional medical doctor, you can absolutely do that too, just to kind of help you support in any way. If they're seeing a nutritionist, that's another really, really great way to help supplement the supplement ideas. So all these are kind of different behaviors that we can take to help protect ourselves during the summer months. As it pertains to treatments in the treatment room during summer months, my lifestyle actually doesn't change much throughout the year. I do take like one beach vacation where it's tropical and I go and I am going to have sun exposure. When it comes to things like that, I am not pulling myself or my guests off of their routine during the summertime unless they are going on that like altering lifestyle type trip. If they're going on a trip where their main focus is going to be like leisure and like adventure, then yes, I would go ahead and make way in that routine to make adjustments. But that means pulling them off of their Define, Refine Plus, Refine RX, Serum 16, Serum 24, XL Plus. That means pulling them off of those, I would say 48 hours before they leave for the trip. And then if they do have significant sun exposure or a burn, hopefully they don't when they come back, I would probably give it about a week to let everything calm down, and then you can start to reintroduce those actives back into the routine. I would honestly treat it just as you would like a post-care peel option. What you're looking for is for the melanocytes and for like your Langerhans cells, your immunity cells, to calm back down again. So once you don't see any type of redness stimulated, once you don't see any or feel any heat, honestly, you're really, really great to go back onto your actives. But that's why I say a lot of people can't really self-evaluate like that. 1 week after sun exposure is typically a really safe time. But just making sure, they stay consistent on that home care. Summertime, you always need to make sure that they're on that really great vitamin C, or just any type of like tyrosinase inhibitor is beautiful. One that I'm shocked that I didn't mention during this presentation, it's definitely not like me, but is pepoxide. That's another really, really great kind of preventative care serum that I do want to insert in there for those summer months. It's definitely an acne safe serum as well, and I do really like that for my preventative care acne, as well as it kind of gets into that more post-inflammatory pigmentation care. You do pivot from XL Plus, where it is very heavily acid based, to pepoxide, where it is more antioxidant based. You have those 16 base antioxidants there. And it's really working on just kind of increasing communication, decreasing redness and reactivity, and kind of helping the skin just function optimally in general. So I'm sure you guys, if you've been on my webinars before, you're shocked that you didn't see pepoxide here, but really just kind of focusing on those like acne kind of protocol products that are still beautifully safe during summertime. Perfect. And then just a few more here. I know we already chatted about Zinc Defense, but this is a newer launch for last month. So Zinc Defense is, like I said, a totally mineral SPF. It has 23% zinc oxide as protection. You do need to make sure you give this one a really good shake before you use it, but this is a very nice serum-like consistency, and it does have a buildable coverage as well. So if you want to start with a little bit less and then build it up a little bit more, that's typically what I do for my Richard Fitzpatrick's, and it does work really, really well. But I do work it in as like a buildable type coverage there, and make sure you give it a really, really nice shake before you apply. But this one's been working beautifully in treatment room and for my home care as well, and it is really, really great when it comes to actual protection. And then pomegranate peel, like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, this is going to see a little bit of an ingredient deck update here. We did kind of stabilize and help this technology, this pomegranate enzyme, be a little bit more up to date. The pomegranate peel has been around for almost 20 years, so it needed a little zhuzh. So we put it in a new bottle. We stabilize the pomegranate enzyme, and everything else is going to be pretty much exactly the same for you guys. Pricing will adjust based on the new size of the bottle. We did take it from 1.7 ounces to 1 ounce, but you will see that reflected in a price change. So pricing will begin to drop for the smaller bottle as well. And you guys will start to see that it goes into the opaque bottle, going to help a little bit more for stability as well over time, help it last a little bit longer. Perfect. All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for popping in. It was so nice to see everyone. It was so nice to chat with everyone. I'm actually going to head and stop sharing my screen here so I can pop in and see you guys. And if you guys have any questions at all, if you have any questions, we can do a little bit of an open back and forth. Thank you guys so much for popping on and chatting with me. It was so nice seeing you guys. Like I said, I always really, really enjoy popping on and getting to answer your questions. So if you guys ever need anything from me, you know where to find me. My email is alamore@cosmetics.com. That's ALAMOURE @cosmetics.com. And you guys can always shoot me an email whenever you need me as it pertains to treatment room, ingredients, products, protocols, troubleshooting EDU portal, troubleshooting Cosmetics Academy, anything you guys need, I am here for you. And this was also recorded as well. This will go on the EDU portal. So you guys can see that, I would say, if you want to rewatch it, in about 24 hours. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording if no one has any more questions. And then I will see you guys for our next webinar. One will be uploaded to the EDU portal as a pre-record on June 12th. And then we will see you guys back on June 26th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. That one will be with Lynette, and she will be actually walking you guys through the new and improved Cosmetics Academy and EDU portal, doing any troubleshooting there. So if before that you guys need any help hopping on, please do not hesitate to let me know. I will get you where you need to go, and I will definitely help with whatever you guys need help with. So please feel free to reach out, and thank you guys so much again for joining me today.